Now I was going to say another question now. There's a question, quite a deep question here from Juan. Juan, is it Canales? How do you pronounce your surname?
Yeah, it's Canales, yeah.
Can you ask your question, please?
Yeah, so what are you most optimistic about when all of COVID is over and when you're allowed to have visitors and go outside?
Yes, did you hear that? What are you, all of you who are in care homes? Many of you, like Mary, has not been out of the bedroom for 7 months. What are you first hoping to do when all of this is over? What have you got? Are you longing to do something in particular? Mary, what do you want to do when you're allowed out of your room and having visitors again?
What do you want to do when COVID is over and when you're allowed to go out? What do you want to do? You want to see your family? I bet you want to see Monty, your dog, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to see Monty, definitely. And how about Terry, your son? You want to see Terry, don't you?
Be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Tom Jones. I'm taking it to a Tom Jones concert as soon as this is over.
Right, okay. Now Tom Jones, we're hoping that ITN are going to maybe help us with that one. Who knows? We're going to ask them to say, can Tom Jones please come on our Zoom, the great singer. Betty, Betty, what's your first wish when when care homes are opened up again to visitors?
I want to go out into the garden. First thing I want to do. We've got where the property that I live in at the moment, and it's got lawns around it on one side and paths, and I want to walk around that path and get some air and get some, you know, see. I mean, there's only leaves on trees and things like that. It isn't a marvellous garden, but it's open plan, and that's lovely. That's what I want to do.
What about you, Maggie? When it's all over, have you got something you're longing to do?
Yeah, I want to start going abroad and going on holidays and seeing places. But I'm lucky. I mean, I can get out, and I did make a vow when the first lockdown. I was going to go out for a walk every day, which I have done. I haven't missed a single day without going for a walk. Sometimes very short. But and I take photographs, and I've started doing articles, which go into the local magazine, the online one and a monthly one. So I'm known as Maggie's Lockdown Walks.
Excellent, really good. Cool. What about you, Wendy? What do you want to do when it's? We're going to come. We've got Bancroft Gardens on now. We're delighted to see with Sandra. But Mary, first of all, Wendy, what would you most want to do when the lockdown's over?
To get out.
Go down to the river, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, get down to the river and meet the family, the grandchildren again.
Very hard for you not to be able to see them, isn't it? Now,
yes.
We're joined now by Sandra. Oh, she's disappeared. Sandra, hello. There's an empty chair there at the bottom of it. Sandra's just joined from Bancroft Gardens. They've had a few problems coming on. We're going to finish in the end. I've got Hannah beautifully doing her directing here. You're not going to sing on the Zoom then, are you? Going to do it another time?
I leave that as a treat.
Oh, yeah, all right, okay.
I don't want to follow Nicola then.
That was lovely.
No, you should sing.
No, you should sing. Oh, hang on. I've just hold on. My dreaded screen's going funny again.
Do you want to?
Oh. Right, so we're just going to go around you again because Hannah's directing this here. I'm wanting to say, can we have Mary? Can I ask you a question about? Oh, I'm going to ask this. We're just trying to get a few different shots of you.
No change really. Then it's just just a lot.
Mary, have you got any New Year's resolutions?
Do you have any New Year's resolutions, Mary?
No.
Not to meet Tom Jones. Tell me about
Tom Jones.
Yes.
Do you want to meet Tom Jones, Mary?
Yes.
Can you?
So
that's as far as it'll go, though. Yes.
Why do you love him so much?
I don't know. Since I was being younger.
Well, maybe we'll have to see what we can do about that. Now, I'm joined also by. I'm going to go on to Betty now. Betty, have you got any New Year's resolutions?
Say it again. Any resolutions?
Resolutions.
I don't believe in resolutions. I think they have to take dates self. It's one of those things. You wake from sleep in the morning, and then you take day over then and see what happens. That's more exciting than doing a revolution.
No, that's fine.
Resolution. Revolution.
Now
Start
got
from-
Sandra on the screen. Now, Sandra, can you hear me, Sandra?
Morning.
Good morning. Now, Sandra is a manager of a care home in Stratford who looked after my mother so beautifully at the end of her life. Sandra, what has it been like to be a manager in the last 8 months with the pandemic? Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it has been, well, quite difficult, I think, for the staff and myself, and also in disciplining ourselves when we're not working where we go, and for a long time staff just went home and returned back to work. It's a little bit easier now because we have a lot more testing with the lateral flow device, and so if staff have been a day off, we can now test them on their return, so it's made life a bit easier. And we have our weekly tests, and it's always a joy to come back when they come back negative. It is a strain because nobody's been able to have a holiday, and I think, you know, holidays are very important for staff to recharge their batteries, and that's not been possible. If they did have a day off, a holiday, they just have to stay at home. They can't go to all their planned destinations. One was going to Australia, 2 were going to India, and all that got cancelled. And so they don't know ever when they will be able to go and visit their families. So sometimes that has, you know, brings on a bit of mental fatigue really, and anxiety and stress, because there doesn't seem to be any end to it.
No.
And although the residents and the staff have all been vaccinated now, we've still got to be very cautious, because we don't know if we can transmit the virus still.
No, you've done an amazing job, and I think that
And then keeping the residents happy and trying to encourage them to do their activities. And one of the things I had to do was employ my activities leader in the home as a member of staff. And so we're able to do one-to-one activities or very small groups, and then we're able to still run the Domino's team at a distance. And it's worked. We just did, you know, you just find different things to do, flower arranging, but we've had, you know, it's been a lot of individual work.
No, you've done a very good job. Thank you for doing so. We've spoken to some lovely residents over the weeks with you, especially the lovely man who's a Wolverhampton Wanderers football player who could still kick the ball even though he was very frail.
Yeah.
And also to Jean, I remember. I'm going to come to, but thank you for that, Sandra. I'm going to come to Lynn and Wendy, who are just down the road from you at Cedar Lawn. So can you tell us, Mary, can we talk? Have you got any New Year's resolutions, Wendy? What are your hopes for the new year, Wendy?
Mixing with people.
You miss mixing with people, don't you?
I miss mixing with people, and particularly children.
Well, it's lovely to have you mixing with us this morning on this, although it's a little, you know, on the Zoom. It's a great privilege for all the young people to hear you. I think if we could have you on separately, there'd be a lot of questions about science then and now, which I think would be very interesting.
I don't know if I could answer them.
I'm sure you could. We're going to have to finish in a minute because everybody's got to get back to their studies, because of course the young people are at school at the moment. So I'm going to go back to looking to you all now. So I've just taken some people onto a sort of special screen there. We've got lots of questions here. But we're back on again at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So maybe we'll ask those questions then, if that's all right. because these lovely people are so, you know, enthusiastic, and I hope that the young people have learned quite a lot this morning from what we've been talking about, and the power of pets to make everybody smile, to trigger memories. And also, if you have a pet, you move a bit more. Do you know what I mean? You're constantly moving in your chair. If you're holding a dog or you're stroking it, Nicola's stroking her Dottie there. They're great. I want to know, by the way, Shambavi, what are you holding? What is that? Sorry?
It's a toy. It's a squirrel. It's a cuddly toy. I don't own any pets. So I've just got my toy.
And look, and then Mary there has got Monty, her extraordinary chimpanzee or whatever, it's monkey with horns. So Barbie, do you actually, that's one of your favorite toys, is it, Barbie? So when you're in your room, have you had him a long time? Is there a story?
No, I only had him recently. My friends found out that I don't own any toys, so for Christmas I got it from one of my close friends, and she was like, "This is going to be your first toy," and it's a squirrel.
Oh, you haven't got any toys. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Why has it got a crown?
I don't know. Just she's a princess or a queen.
Of course she is. Did you have a name?
I was gonna stick with squirrel because I can't think of any names. But if you guys have names, tell me and I'll.
Okay, that's a challenge for everybody for the next Zoom. We want to name Shambavi's toy. Is that okay? And it's a male or female? Do you know?
I'm gonna go female.
Gonna go
like
female.
me.
Okay, all right, okay. So any suggestions for the name? Thinking kissing it better, thinking of what we're doing. I think that might be really good. We're gonna end this now because you've all